First, we will start with the definition of signal. What is a signal? So, signal is defined as a physical quantity which carries information. Right. So, this physical quantity can be anything. The physical quantity can be speed, wind, speed of wind, temperature, humidity. It can be any physical quantity like weight. It can be any physical quantity. A physical quantity which carries information is defined as a signal. Right. Now, there is another aspect to the definition of signal. The another aspect to the definition of signal is that the signal X depends on time t and it is related to time t. The relation with time t is denoted by X is equal to f of t, where X is called as signal, t is called as time, and f is the relation between signal X and time t. The relation f should be well defined, that is, f cannot be random. If f is random, then X cannot be called as signal, X will be called as noise. Therefore, another aspect to the definition of signal is that X is a signal, t is time, and both should be related by a function f which is well defined in nature. As an example, we can say X is equal to sin t. So, the signal X is related to time t through the relation sin. Now, as we all know, sin is well defined. Sin is not random. So, this X can be called as a signal. The next topic that we go to is classification of signals. And the first category is continuous time and discrete time signals. The first category is continuous time and discrete time signals. The continuous time signal is denoted by x of t and where x varies with time t. Time t is called as continuous time. A discrete time signal is denoted by x of n, where n is the discrete time and x is called as the discrete time signal. This notation is very important. The signal x of t is always the notation used for continuous time signal. Similarly, the notation x of n is the notation that is always used for discrete time signal. What is the difference between the two? Let us understand. So, in continuous time signal, time t can take any value. In continuous time signal, as I said, time t can take any value. For example, time can be 1.2, time can be 2.4, time can be 3.6, time can be 4.3, time can be 5.7. So, the basic is that the continuous time signal x of t, time t can take any value, whereas in discrete time signal, time n cannot take any value. It can take only integer values. That is, if time is 0, the next time value of time will be 1. After that, the next value of time will be 2, then 3, then 4. In discrete time, fraction values are not possible. For example, time cannot be 1.2, time cannot be 2.9, time cannot be 3.3, time cannot be 4.7, time cannot be 9.9. Time cannot take any value. Time can take only integer values. So, if I have to summarize continuous time and discrete time signal, I would summarize it as a continuous time signal is denoted by x of t, a discrete time signal is denoted by x of n. In continuous time signal, continuous time t can take any value and there is no binding. In discrete time signal, n cannot take any value, n can take only integer values. That is how I would summarize a continuous time and discrete time signals. The second classification that we do, the second classification is periodic and non-periodic signals. Okay. So the next classification we'll look at is periodic and non-periodic signals. Now periodic and non-periodic has to be dealt with respect to whether the signal is continuous time or whether the signal is discrete time. Suppose we have a continuous time signal, x of t is equal to cos omega naught t, then the time period capital T is given by 2 pi by omega naught, where capital T is the time period. The discrete time signal x of n cos omega naught n. So let us consider a discrete time signal x of n is cos omega naught n. Now in case of discrete time signal, we have to calculate the ratio 2 pi by omega naught. If the ratio 2 pi by omega naught is capital N by capital M, now capital N is called as the discrete time period. It is analogous to capital T, but capital T is called as the time period of continuous time signal. Capital N is called as time period of discrete time signal. Now the ratio 2 pi by omega naught should be capital N by capital N, which is ratio of two integers, and ratio of two integers is called as rational number. Therefore the signal x of n is periodic only if the ratio 2 pi by omega naught is capital N by capital M, and that is rational number. If by chance this ratio comes out to be irrational, then we say x of n is non-periodic. Here capital N is the time period. Just to summarize, the continuous time signal is always periodic with a time period calculated by t is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Omega naught can be anything, capital T can be anything, we don't have to check anything. Whereas in discrete time signal, we have to check the ratio 2 pi by omega naught. If the ratio 2 pi by omega naught is a rational number, the signal is periodic. If the ratio 2 pi by omega naught is irrational, then the signal is non-periodic. Capital N denotes the discrete time period. Capital T denotes the continuous time period. I would explain this by taking couple of examples of continuous time and couple of examples of discrete time. First, let us say x of t is cos pi by 4 t. Let us take second example as x of t is sin t by 3. Both of them are examples of continuous time. Let us take third example, x of n is equal to sin pi by 3n. And let us say fourth example, x of n is cos n by 4. Now how to calculate the period? Let us first come to continuous time. Omega naught is pi by 4. So capital T will be equal to 2 pi by omega naught. That is 2 pi divided by pi by 4. Pi gets cancelled. So capital T is equal to 8. So time period is 8. In the next question, omega naught is 1 by 3. Time period will be 2 pi by omega naught. So this is 2 pi divided by 1 by 3. This is equal to 6 pi. Third, omega naught is pi by 3. Now remember, these two are continuous time signals. So we take omega naught and directly calculate the time period capital T. Here we calculate omega naught. After calculating omega naught, we have to take 2 pi by omega naught. Now what is 2 pi by omega naught in this case? So this is 2 pi divided by pi by 3. So this is 6. I can write 6 as 6 by 1, which is a rational number. Since this is a rational number, I will say x of n is periodic, and the period capital N is 6, which is the numerator of the ratio. In next example, omega naught is 1 by 4. We calculate 2 pi by omega naught, which is 2 pi divided by 1 by 4. This comes out to be 8 pi. Now pi is an irrational number. Since pi is an irrational number, 8 pi is irrational. And since 8 pi is irrational, I will say that x of n is non-periodic. And since x of n is non-periodic, there is no question of period. So to summarize, in continuous time signal, there is no need of rational or irrational. You can directly take omega naught, calculate period capital T. There is no need of rational irrational checking. Take omega naught, calculate capital T, whatever you get is the correct answer. Whereas if you come to discrete time, you have to check whether the ratio 2 pi by omega naught is rational. If 2 pi by omega naught is rational, we will say it is periodic. If 2 pi by omega naught is irrational, we will say non-periodic. Now here pi is there, so I have said it is irrational. Now what all can come in the category of irrational? So one thing is pi, second thing is root 2, third thing is root 3, under root 5. All these are examples of irrational. When the ratio is rational, the period is numerator of the ratio. So the numerator of the ratio in this case is 6. So the time period will be 6. Next is addition of two periodic signals. So let us say x of t is equal to, let us say I have a signal which is sine pi by 3 t plus cos pi by 4 t. So the signal x of t is addition of two periodic signals, sine pi by 3 and cos pi by 4. We want to find the time period in case of addition. So how do we find the time period? So here we find omega 1. So omega 1 is pi by 3. We find omega 2, which is pi by 4. So what will be time period t1? T1 will be 2 pi by omega 1. T2 will be 2 pi by omega 2. So T1 will be 2 pi divided by pi by 3. T2 will be 2 pi divided by pi by 4. So T1 comes out to be 6. T2 comes out to be 8. So the individual periods are 6 and 8. We want period of the addition. So T1 is 6. T2 is 8. So we calculate the ratio T1 by T2. So T1 by T2 is 6 by 8. 6 by 8 can be written as 3 by 4. So since 3 by 4 is a rational number, why is 3 by 4 a rational number? Because 3 is an integer, 4 is an integer, ratio of two integers is rational number. Since ratio of two integers is rational numbers, I will say x of t is periodic. In short, addition of two signals is said to be periodic if the ratio of their periods is a rational number. दो सिग्नल का एडिशन पीरियोडिक तभी रहेगा जब उनके पीरियड्स का रेशियो रैशनल नंबर रहेगा, राइट. If x of t is periodic, what will be the period? So the time period t is given by, you have to cross multiply. So it will be either 4t1 or 3t2. 4t1 or 3t2. So capital T will be, if you take 4t1, so capital T will be equal to 4 into t1 is 6, So capital T comes out to be 24. Let us take another example and let us take addition of two discrete time signals. So let us say x of n is cos 2 pi by 3 n plus sine 4 pi by 5 n. So this is addition. The procedure remains same. So omega 1 is 2 pi by 3. Omega 2 is 4 pi by 5. Now remember, this is discrete time. How do we calculate period of discrete time? So 2 pi by omega 1 will be 2 pi divided by 2 pi by 3. So 2 by gets cancelled. This is 3. I can write 3 by 1. So the time period n is 3. Second, we find omega 2 pi by omega 2. So this will be 2 pi divided by 4 pi by 5. So this is 10 by 4. 10 by 4 can be written as 5 by 2. Now 5 by 2 is a rational number. So the time period, so let us say this is n1. So the time period n2 in this case is 5, which is numerator of the ratio. Now how do we find the time period of x of n? So we take ratio of n1 by n2, which is 3 by 5, which is a rational number. So I will say x of n is periodic, and the period capital N will be equal to, if you cross multiply 5n1 or 3n2, so capital N comes out to be, if you take 5n1, so it will come out to be 15. So now we will start with some gate questions on periodic signals. So this is the first gate question, and as you can observe, the question consists of addition of 3 periodic signals. Previously we have seen addition of 2 signals, but here the question is on addition of 3 signals. This can always happen with you in gate. Now let us solve this question. So what is omega 1 for the first? So omega 1 is 1.2 pi, omega 2 is equal to 2 pi, and omega 3 is 2.8 pi, because we have 3 signals. So the 3 frequencies are omega 1, omega 2 and omega 3. We will find the time period for each. So 2 pi by omega 1, T2 will be 2 pi by omega 2, and T3 will be 2 pi by omega 3. So what will be T1? So T1 will be 2 pi divided by 1.2 pi, which comes out to be 5 by 3. Second, T2 is 2 pi divided by 2 pi. So T2 comes out to be 1. And T3 is 2 pi divided by 2.8 pi, which comes out to be 5 by 7. So we have calculated the 3 individual periods, which is 5 by 3, 1 and 5 by 7. Now in order to find the period, we calculate ratio of the periods. So we calculate T1 by T2. So T1 by T2 will be 5 by 3. 5 is an integer, 3 is an integer, and ratio of 2 integers is a rational number. Similarly, in case of 3 signals, we have to find another ratio, that is T1 by T3. T1 by T3. So what will be T1 by T3? So T1 by T3 is 5 by 3 divided by 5 by 7. So this comes out to be 7 by 3. Again, 7 is an integer, 3 is an integer, and ratio of 2 integers is a rational number. Since both the ratios T1 by T2 and T1 by T3 are rational numbers, I will say that the given signal x of t is periodic. So we will say both the ratios have to be rational. If any one of the ratio becomes irrational, then the signal will be non-periodic. But since both the ratios are rational, I will say x of t is periodic. And the time period t will be, you cross multiply. So this will be 3t1 or 5t2. So 3t1, 5t2. And similarly, this will be 3t1. We have already written 3t1 and 73. That will be the time period. We can take any one of the ratio. So capital T. So capital T, if you take it as 3t1, then T comes out to be 5. Because T1 is 5 by 3. 3 would get cancelled and the time period in this case is 5. But in the question, they are not asking us time period. They have asked us fundamental frequency. As we all know that the fundamental frequency f is 1 by t. So f comes out to be 1 by 5. Therefore f will be 0.2 and the unit for frequency is hertz. So the answer to this gate question is 0.2 hertz, which is the fundamental frequency. The unit for time period is seconds. The unit for time period is seconds. Let us now proceed to the next question. How do we find the period in this case? Now in this question is addition of two periodic signals. Therefore, the solution to this question will be omega 1 is 2 pi, omega 2 is 3 pi. So T1 is 2 pi by omega 1, T2 is 2 pi by omega 2. So T1 is 1, T2 is 2 by 3. These two are the individual periods, but we want ratio of two periods. So the ratio of two periods T1 by T2 will come out to be 1 divided by 2 by 3, which is 3 by 2. Now 3 is an integer, 2 is an integer, and ratio of two integers is a rational number. Since this is a rational number, we will say x of t is periodic. We will say x of t is periodic. And what will be the period? So the time period, capital T will be, you have to take the cross multiplication. So 2t1 or 3t2. So capital T will come out to be, what will be 2 into t1. So the time period comes out to be 2 seconds. So the answer to this question will be 2 seconds. We go to next question, which is 2 cos 2 pi by 3 t plus 2 cos pi t. So again in this question we have to find the period. The procedure will be same. So what is omega 1? So omega 1 in this question is 2 pi by 3. Omega 2 is pi. So T1 will come out to be 3 and T2 will come out to be 2. So T1 by T2 will be 3 by 2, which is a rational number. Since 3 by 2 is a rational number, we will say x of t is periodic. And the period will be again 2t1 or 3t2. So the time period capital T comes out to be, what is 2 times t1? So 2 times t1 will be 6 seconds. Will be the answer to this question. This question is very similar to the previous question. is the next question. In this question, as you can see, we have addition of 3 periodic signals and we have to find fundamental frequency in radians per second. The approach to this question is similar. So, in order to solve this question, we'll start with the 3 frequencies. Omega 1 is 100, omega 2 is 300 and omega 3 is 500. We find the 3 time periods. T1 is 2 pi by omega 1, T2 is 2 pi by omega 2 and T3 is 2 pi by omega 3. So T1 will be 2 pi by 100, T2 will be 2 pi by 300 and T3 will be 2 pi by 500. So T1 by T2 will be 3 by 1, which is a rational number. And since we have 3 signals, we have to find another ratio, which is T1 by T3. T1 by T3 will come out to be 5 by 1, which is again a rational number. Since both the ratios are rational number, we will say x of t is periodic. We will say x of t is periodic, and the time period for this will be capital T is equal to, we have to cross multiply, so it will be T1 or 3T2 or 5T3. So if we take T is equal to T1 here, the time period capital T comes out to be 2 pi by 100 or simply pi by 50. That is the time period. But they are not asking us the time period. Here we have to find the fundamental frequency in radians. The fundamental frequency in radians is omega, which will be 2 pi by capital T. So omega comes out to be 100 radian per second. So we have used the value of T is equal to pi by 50. If you substitute pi by 50 here, pi will get cancelled and 50 will be multiplied with 2, that becomes 100. So omega is 100 radian per second is the fundamental frequency for this question. In the next question, a discrete time signal x of n is given to us. For this discrete time signal, there are 4 options. As you can look at the 4 options, we have to find the period of the discrete time signal. Now, the solution of this problem will be, what is omega? So omega in this case is pi square. If you observe, this is a discrete time signal. To find period of discrete time signal, we have to find 2 pi by omega. So 2 pi by omega in this case is 2 pi divided by pi square, which comes out to be 2 by pi. As we all know, 2 by pi is an irrational number. Since 2 by pi is an irrational number, we will say x of n is non-periodic. And since x of n is non-periodic, the answer to this question will be option D. This is the next question, in which we have to find the period of the given signal. As you can observe, the given signal is addition of 2 discrete time signals. So we have to find the individual periods and then the ratio of their periods. So the solution of this question will be, we start with omega 1, which is 0.3 pi, and omega 2, which is 1.2 pi. We first find the ratio 2 pi by omega 1. So 2 pi by omega 1 is 2 pi divided by 0.3 pi. So this ratio comes out to be 20 by 3, which is a rational number. Therefore, the time period of first signal is 20. Similarly, we calculate 2 pi by omega 2. So this will be 2 pi divided by 1.2 pi. So this comes out to be 5 by 3, which is also a rational number. The period N2 in this case is 5. Now we are adding these two signals, so we take the ratio of their periods. So N1 by N2 is 20 by 5, which is 4 by 1, which is again a rational number. Since this is a rational number, we say x of n is periodic. And the period will be capital N is equal to N1 or 4N2. So the time period capital N comes out to be 20. So the time period for the given question is 20. This is the next question, in which we have to find the fundamental frequency in hertz. So we start with multiplying the cos 200 pi t. So this will become cos 200 pi t plus 0.5 cos 40 pi t multiplied by cos 200 pi t. This portion is similar to cos A into cos B. Cos A into cos B can be replaced by 1 by 2 cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Therefore, if you apply this formula, x of t becomes cos 200 pi t plus this will become 0.25, because this is 0.5 and there will be 1 by 2. So 0.5 multiplied by 1 by 2 will become 0.25. First you have to add, so this will be cos 240 pi t, a plus b, right? So 40 plus 200 is 240 pi t plus 0.25 cos, then you have to subtract. So 40 minus 200 will be 160 pi t. So now this given question is converted into addition of three periodic signals. We have already seen a couple of examples where we have solved addition of three periodic signals. So omega 1 is 200 pi, omega 2 is 240 pi, and omega 3 is 160 pi. So we'll calculate T1, which is 2 pi by omega 1, T2, which is 2 pi by omega 2, and T3, which is 2 pi by omega 3. So T1 comes out to be 1 by 100, T2 comes out to be 1 by 120, and T3 comes out to be 1 by 80. So we take ratio, so T1 by T2. So T1 by T2 comes out to be 120 by 100, which can be written as 6 by 5, which is a rational number. Similarly, T1 by T3. T1 by T3 comes out to be 80 by 100, which can be written as 4 by 5, which is again a rational number. Since both the ratios are rational number, we will say x of t is periodic. And the period capital T will be 5t1 or 6t2. So the time period capital T, if you take 5t1, comes out to be 1 by 20. But in this question we have to find the fundamental frequency. So the fundamental frequency is 1 by t. So f comes out to be 20 hertz, which is the answer. I hope in this video you have understood the different gate questions we have solved on periodic and non-periodic signals.